Good morning, everybody. I am making breakfast, ironically, and also talking about why you should eat breakfast. I'm making us some blueberry waffles, and I will share with you guys the recipe that we're using, or the recipe that I use. And you guys know that my husband's dairy free, so a lot of the stuff that we get ends up being paleo, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it, gluten-free too, just because that tends to be the category of which dairy-free things are in. So let me just get that one going, and then we'll talk about why you should be eating breakfast and how problematic it is if you do not have an appetite in the morning, particularly for women. If women do not have an appetite in the morning, I get very nervous because that tells me that there is something going on in your body. I know we live in a culture that promotes just eating the least amount of food as possible, especially for women. It's like, oh, she eats so little. Look at how self-controlled she is. Look at how disciplined she is. And oftentimes that ends up being long-term detrimental. So I clearly put too much waffle in the waffle maker. Let me put too much of this. Whoopsies. Let's clean this off. Oopsies. Okay, so I have to tell you guys, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I personally recently started to realize that I didn't have an appetite waking up, and I was like, oh, my 5 alarm bells went off in my head, because I understand that when a woman's body doesn't feel hungry in the morning, that means cortisol might be high, estrogen might be high, and your liver is not functioning properly. Like, your metabolism isn't moving. Your body is not digesting food or moving it through your body properly. And so immediately 5 alarm bells went off in my head, and I was like, ah! So I backtracked and I was like, okay, what is going on that I'm not hungry in the mornings? I wasn't eating too late. I think my meals were like ending at like 9 maybe. That was like when I would have my hot chocolate. And then I would wake up at like 8. So that's a whole 12 hours, 8 to 9. That would be a whole 12 hours where my body should have released, that food, and I should have been able to metabolize it. And so I started to backtrack and go, okay, what do I know I need to do in order to support my metabolism and to support my hormones as a woman? Because let's talk about stagnation for a second. If your body is not, typically people who are not hungry in the morning don't eliminate their waste regularly. And so if things are stuck, that means that you're also not expelling excess estrogen. You're also not expelling fat, right? You're also not expelling any of the toxins that you may have picked up from the environment or from your food. So it is a dangerous game to play to allow yourself to not have enough fruits, vegetables, and things like that to move things through your digestive system. So again, we live in a culture that praises not eating. So people are like, oh, I'm not hungry in the morning. I'm just so virtuous because I don't eat enough. And then, come to find out they're having all these other symptoms because their body is not moving things through their liver. Their cortisol is super high. So of course, and there's adrenaline running through their body. So their body's like, no, we're not going to eat. There are 5 million other things to worry about. And that causes a whole host of problems. So what did I do? I immediately backtracked and I said, okay, first and foremost, let's make sure I'm regular. Let's make sure I'm going to the bathroom. If you're not going to the bathroom regularly, you need to check into your liver. You need to check into your digestion. So I started incorporating even more fruits and vegetables. It sounds crazy to be like, oh, I should eat more if I'm not hungry. But I understand that I need help moving things through my digestive system, and that will also support my liver. And so if my liver is detoxing, then I know that I'm detoxing excess estrogen, which is one of the many reasons why people do not have an appetite in the morning. And so I knew that immediately. I was like, okay, I'm going to add more fruits and vegetables. Number 2, If cortisol is high, then I'm going to put myself on an adrenal cocktail again, as I did many, many years ago when I was competing and I had all those issues with my hormones. I was like, oh, let me go back on that. Okay, so I put together my lemon juice, my orange juice, my salt water, started drinking that in the morning, first thing when I wake up, put myself on an adrenal cocktail again. And then number 3, I said, okay, I need to eat breakfast even though I'm not hungry so that my body can start to turn itself on again in the morning and start to move things through my body. And lo and behold, my body is revving up again. This morning, I woke up and I was ravenous. And to me, that's a good sign. When I wake up, that means my body, and I'm hungry, that means my body is functioning the way it was designed. There is, your body is supposed to be eliminating waste 2 to 3 times a day. Okay. If you're not eliminating waste, you probably are not hungry very often. And if you are, you're not hungry in the morning. So you want to be eliminating waste 2 to 3 times a day. And the 4th thing I did was I stopped exercising intensely, because I know that exercise is wonderful. I love it. It's my favorite thing, right? It's one of my favorite ways to regulate my nervous system. I also know that if I exercise too intensely, my body is not interested in, my body gets a little scared, as for lack of a better term. I don't want to go into the scientific details of it, but my body essentially will say, okay, let's shut down because she's going crazy. And we don't know if she's going to start going crazy and start trying to burn off all this extra fat that we have. Let's put the whole thing on hold. It'll come to a complete halt. My body only is lean and tight when I am exercising a way that works best for my body, which includes a lot of rest. If I am going to exercise intensely, I need to make sure I need to make sure I have a lot of rest. So, oops, you guys, I almost burnt myself. Here's the waffle that I'm making, blueberry waffles. So, eating breakfast helps your body to start to regulate itself again. In the morning, it starts to tell your body that, hey, it's safe to eat. It's safe for us to burn fat. We don't have to starve. Because remember, fasting is not that great for women to begin with. So even if you're not fasting intentionally, it's still not that great for women to begin with. And oftentimes, women who are not eating breakfast are not getting enough protein in their diet, and they're not getting enough carbohydrates and fats. The other thing I noticed about myself is that I was starting to look like puffy. I was like, ooh, I wasn't gaining weight. I just felt watery. And I don't know if you guys know what that feeling is like. It's like your fingers are like puffy and your skin just feels, I don't know, like loose. And I was like, okay, that is when I knew it was inflammation. And so if the combination of not being hungry in the morning and feeling inflamed told me that I need to put myself on regular eating intervals again, make sure I'm getting enough protein, carbohydrates, and fats, and make sure I'm eliminating waste from my body. And boom, a couple weeks later, body feels great. You guys, I ate what I wanted and drank what I wanted in Mexico. And I came back actually feeling better than I did when I left, which is crazy, because what that tells me is, again, I needed to, number one, slow down. We ate 3 meals a day in Mexico, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we didn't really have time to snack because that just wasn't there. But my body sucked right back up and things were fine. So eating breakfast is really important. If you're someone who does not like to eat in the morning, I understand. I would say put some collagen in your coffee. At the minimal, put some collagen in your coffee, high protein in the morning, or do something that is low volume. So Greek yogurt, a cup of Greek yogurt is low volume. It's like this much food, so you don't have to feel like you're chewing, because a lot of people think, oh, I have to eat in the morning. That means I have to do a big meal. No, you don't have to do a big meal. Just make sure that you're getting enough protein. So put some collagen in your coffee, do a Greek yogurt parfait, have some Greek yogurt that's high protein, put a little fruit on top, boom. Okay, if you're a smoothie person, make a smoothie. Things that are not going to require you to chew, because a lot of it's like laborious for people to eat breakfast, and I understand that. So do that for a week straight and watch your body change. The fear is for people that you will not, like that they'll gain weight because we're eating more, and that's something that has to be debunked quite a bit. So it's just something that I'll have to talk about more about on here, is this idea that if I eat more, I'm going to gain weight. Well, if you're not eating enough, you will also gain weight. So it's playing with that idea of where is your number? Where does your body feel most comfortable and safe? And where does your body feel healthy enough to function properly? Because what I see with most of the women who are not eating breakfast, they're also gaining weight rapidly. And they're like, I'm not eating a lot. I'm like, well, either you're eating too much later on and compensating for that, or you're under eating and your body is saying, hey lady, I can't trust you to release this fat. So I'm going to hold on to it even though you're eating in a caloric deficit. So it works both ways. And the first thing you can do is, number one, put some protein in your mouth in the morning. Collagen, protein, Greek yogurt. If you're able to do eggs in the morning, I usually can't do them like really early. I can do them later. But do that and watch how your body starts to wake back up again, because you should be hungry in the morning and you should be eliminating waste 2 to 3 times a day. That is normal for you. All right, you guys, I'm going to finish making these waffles. I forgot to tell you guys what I put in them. Okay, these are Birch Benders pancakes, Kirkland egg whites, silk. They didn't have the organic kind at the store. Blueberries, salt, cinnamon, and a sprinkle of cane sugar. Yes. Oh my gosh, she's eating sugar. I'm an athlete. Workout. So yeah, if I want some sugar in my waffles, I'm going to put a little bit of sugar in there. All right, you guys, have a great day. And if you want to join my 6-week shape up challenge, I'm going to post it in my story today so you guys can join and you can learn more about how your body processes food and why you need to eat breakfast and things like that. All right, you guys, have a good day. I'm going to finish cooking.